Ireland and America, we are siblings. We consider America our big sibling. So it's important for Ireland to have be a peaceful, prosperous country for 40 million Irish Americans to have a place to visit, to come back to their home. So we wish for our relationship with the United States to continue, and we wish to be taken care of by the big bro. You know, the United States should look after its. Happy Paddy's Day, America!
Irish mixed martial artist and former UFC champion Conor McGregor met President Donald Trump Monday following a St. Patrick's Day appearance in the White House briefing room with Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. McGregor praised President Trump while focusing on the issue of undocumented immigrants in Ireland, saying, quote, "What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability."
Conor McGregor is no stranger to making headlines, but this time it wasn't for throwing punches. It was for throwing some serious shade at politicians. During his St. Patrick's Day visit to the White House, he didn't just shake hands and sip whiskey. He used the moment to speak up about the problems facing Ireland and the UK, issues he believes are being ignored.
Racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit. You know, Ireland is...
This wasn't just another celebrity photo op. McGregor wanted America to wake up to what's happening in Ireland. He called out the Irish government for sitting on its hands while real problems pile up. His message? While taxpayer money is being funneled into foreign affairs, the actual needs of Irish citizens are being swept under the rug.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that is nothing.
McGregor didn't waste time with polite small talk. He came in swinging. He ripped into the Irish government, calling it a leadership of zero action and zero accountability. According to him, those in charge are more focused on issues outside the country, while everyday Irish citizens are left struggling. For McGregor, this wasn't just a political rant, it was personal. He argued that Ireland's leaders have ignored the people for too long, letting problems like mass immigration spiral out of control. Rural towns, he claimed, are being overwhelmed, with locals suddenly feeling like outsiders in their own communities.
Nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come.
And he didn't stop there. He made sure to remind the 40 million Irish Americans that if these issues aren't addressed, they might not have a homeland to come back to in the future. McGregor didn't sugarcoat a thing. He went straight for the uncomfortable truth. According to him, Ireland's immigration policies aren't just flawed, they're a disaster. He claimed illegal immigration is overwhelming local communities, turning small towns upside down and leaving native residents feeling like strangers in their own country.
There'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. You know, our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit. You know, Ireland is...
His frustration was clear. Hard-working Irish families who've contributed to the country for generations are now struggling, while newcomers are handed benefits they could only dream of. He called it unfair, unsustainable, and a complete failure of government policy. But for McGregor, this isn't just about numbers or statistics, it's about real people. He believes the Irish government has turned its back on its own citizens, prioritising outsiders while ignoring those who built the country in the first place. By speaking out at the White House, he made sure these concerns weren't just heard in Ireland, but on a global stage. McGregor didn't just keep his focus on Ireland, he pointed out that the UK's facing the same struggles. He He called out British politicians for making big promises while everyday citizens feel abandoned.
Had a great meeting with him. He's a great man. I told him his work rate is outstanding and I wish him all the best.
Conor, the Taoiseach says you don't speak for the people of Ireland. Your response to that?
I am an employer of over 200 people, almost 300 people in the country of Ireland. He's an employer of none. Every available metric available to us has shown that the government of Ireland currently has failed the people of Ireland. In 10 years, Dublin city centre has gone from one of the most safest cities in Europe to one of the most dangerous. So shame on him for saying that, speaking down on an Irishman. I won't speak about him personally. Throw a jab, I could throw many jabs at them. I could throw jabs handily at them. However, I speak on the metrics, and the metrics show they've failed the people of Ireland. They do not represent the people of Ireland, and I'm here.
His argument was simple. People who've worked hard, paid taxes and built their communities are now watching as illegal immigrants receive government support they never had access to. In McGregor's eyes, both Ireland and the UK are prioritising newcomers over the very people who made these countries what they are today. He wasn't just complaining, he was calling for a complete shift in priorities. To him, governments should be listening to their own people instead of crafting policies that leave them behind.
Conor McGregor taking his platform here to have a dig at the Irish government, and that actually may be the key that tells us what exactly he's doing in the United States, because many people here feel that he should launch his own bid for the Irish presidency later this year. That would indeed be a long shot, because back in Ireland, because of the civil action controversy, Conor McGregor's brand has been pulled from the shelves. Some of his sponsors have pulled out. So that's why people here and across the Atlantic in Ireland are shocked by today's developments, and shocked to hear the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt say that they could think of no better guest to have on St. Patrick's Day. As far as many people in Ireland are concerned, Conor McGregor would be the last name on the guest list.
And as for politicians, McGregor had little patience for their endless debates and empty words. He made it clear, people don't need more talk shows discussing immigration, they need real action. McGregor didn't just tackle immigration, he also took aim at politicians who, in his view, twist the truth to fit their agenda. He singled out UK Labour leader Keir Starmer for claiming that free speech in the UK is alive and well. McGregor wasn't buying it.
Also know that there have been infringements on free speech that actually affect not just the British, of course, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American technology companies and by extension American citizens. So that is something that we'll talk about today at lunch.
Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
They get attacked. You know, I've always found about the British, they don't need much help.
In his remarks at the Munich Security Conference, Vice President Vance condemned free speech violations in the UK, particularly. Could you respond? What is your message?
I have an idea. We have the man right here. Come on. Let's go, JD. We're putting you on stage.
Great. Yeah, look, I said what I said, which is that we do have, of course, a special relationship with our friends in the UK and also with some of our European allies, but we also know that there have been infringements on free speech that actually affect not just the British, of course, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American.
According to him, free speech isn't just under threat, it's being quietly erased. He believes politicians are gaslighting the public, acting as if everything is fine while real discussions are being silenced. And what frustrates him most? The fact that people cheer for these misleading statements, ignoring the reality unfolding around them. For McGregor, this isn't just about political disagreements, it's about protecting the right to speak openly without fear of censorship. And he made it clear he's not going to sit back and let politicians rewrite reality while people suffer the consequences.
Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
McGregor has always been a fighter, but now he's taking his battle outside the ring. This time against political deception. He sees it as his duty to call out the misinformation being fed to the public, whether it's about immigration, free speech, or government accountability. To him, this isn't about left or right, it's about honesty. Politicians sugarcoat problems, downplay concerns, and expect people to accept their version of reality. But McGregor refuses to let that slide. He's using his platform to expose what he sees as blatant lies, making sure the public isn't left in the dark. And he's not afraid to ruffle feathers. While some public figures play it safe, McGregor is charging straight into controversial topics, saying what many are too scared to voice. In his eyes, the real fight isn't in the ring, it's in making sure people hear the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is.
Reaction from political leaders in Ireland tonight who've been insisting that Conor McGregor does not speak for Ireland. It's after the mixed martial arts fighter was welcomed into the White House earlier for a meeting with President Trump. And he spoke to reporters in the press briefing room there.
McGregor's bold stance at the White House has sparked a new question. Could he actually run for office in Ireland? Some believe he could win, arguing that sometimes it takes an outsider with real conviction to shake things up. He certainly didn't hold back when criticising how Irish money is being spent. In his words, taxpayer funds are going to overseas issues that have nothing to do with the Irish people, while mass immigration is ravaging the country. And he made sure to send a message to the 40 million Irish Americans. Pay attention, because if nothing changes, there might not be an Ireland left for you to come home to. His speech struck a nerve, quickly spreading online and igniting debates about Ireland's future. Whether he seriously considers politics or not, one thing is clear. McGregor isn't done fighting for what he believes in.
Fighter, he's got the best tattoos I've ever seen. I don't know if I'm a big, but that. Well, Conor's great, right? You know, talking about Conor, but you have a lot of great Irish fighters, actually.
McGregor isn't just worried about immigration, he's worried about Ireland losing what makes it special. For him, this isn't just about numbers, it's about culture, history, and a sense of home. If the current trends continue, he warns, future generations of Irish Americans might not even recognise the Ireland their ancestors left behind. He painted a stark picture. Long-time residents feeling displaced, rural communities changing overnight, and government policies that seem to prioritise outsiders over the people who built the nation. It's a shift he believes will have lasting consequences if left unchecked. McGregor isn't calling for isolation. He's calling for balance. He wants policies that protect Irish citizens first, ensuring that those who've contributed to the country aren't pushed aside in the name of political correctness.
UFC champion Conor McGregor was at the White House today for what he called the most important meeting with President Donald Trump regarding Ireland's future. McGregor's visit comes just a week after Trump praised the Irish mixed martial arts fighter during a visit to the Oval Office by Ireland's Prime Minister. McGregor addressed reporters in the White House briefing room where he shared a warning about the direction he believes Ireland is heading.
His message was clear. If action isn't taken now, the Ireland that millions love and cherish may disappear forever. McGregor didn't just highlight the problems, he demanded solutions. He called on both the Irish and British governments to take responsibility, put their citizens first, and stop letting mass immigration reshape their nations without input from the people who actually live there.
I'm here to raise the issues the people of Ireland face, you know, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. You know, our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland. And it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one.
His argument was simple. People who've worked hard, paid taxes and built their communities are now watching as illegal immigrants receive government support they never had access to. In McGregor's eyes, both Ireland and the UK are prioritising newcomers over the very people who made these countries what they are today. He wasn't just complaining, he was calling for a complete shift in priorities. To him, governments should be listening to their own people instead of crafting policies that leave them behind. For him, this isn't just politics, it's about fairness. The people who've worked, paid taxes and built their communities deserve to be heard, not ignored. He urged Irish Americans to stay engaged, warning that if things don't change, the homeland they cherish could be unrecognisable in the future. His final words? The time for change is now. McGregor has never been one to back down from a fight, and this time the battle isn't in the octagon. It's for the future of Ireland. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like and subscribe to the channel and watch more videos here.